Welcome. My name is Debbie and this is Pouring My Art Out for the Lord. And I thought I would just make a nice relaxing project today. So I decided to make these little specimen cards. I don't often work with acetate, but I really like the final result, so I thought I would play with that. What I did is I decided to try a couple different ways of making these images that you could see from the front and from the back. That's only one image. So the first way I tried was the classic vellum. So I printed a piece of vellum, and this is from the Junk Journal Studio Spring Bounty collection. Yes, Spring Bounty collection. And it's a page of just all butterflies and a couple of dragonflies. And I printed it just on a sheet of vellum. And the vellum didn't want to go through my printer, so I ended up just taping it to a piece of just regular paper and copy paper, and it went through fine, printed fine. I just left it I printed it the other day and just left it for a day on my printer, basically. There's no smudging or anything like that, so it worked out really well. And you can see on the back, the image is just as good on the back as it is on the front. I had another piece of white paper here. So that's the back. So, just exactly the same as the front. So that is cool. And then another thing I thought I would try, I've seen this done, is just to take a piece that I just printed this on, I was going to say basic copy paper, but I think I did it on 24-pound copy paper. So pretty much just basic copy paper. And then when it was printed, again, this is from the Spring Bounty collection from the Junk Journal Studio. And then when it was done, what I did is I took a little bit of oil, and I just had some clear coconut oil. I think they call it MCT oil. It's liquid form all of the time, but you can play around with different forms of baby oil and that kind of stuff. And then I just took a paintbrush and I painted around the images, but when it was done, it kind of soaked through the whole paper, so the whole paper actually looks like vellum. So you can see through it like that, and you couldn't before because it was a piece of white paper. And at the back, it's not as clear as the vellum, but you can see through the back very well. Whereas if you ordinarily print something on a white piece of paper, the back is completely white. And with the oil, it makes it, see-through. So, and this really looks to me like a piece of vellum now. Doesn't feel oily at all. I don't know what it would do to a piece of paper. I had it sitting with this one on the other side while it was drying, I guess. And there is some ink spots there, not ink, oil spots there, but I don't know if it completely dries. So I'm going to try, I tried one with a butterfly here, so I'm going to try one with one of these images next. So I'll show you everything in a second. I just wanted to mention that because I'm working with the Spring Bounty collection from the Junk Journal Studio, I just wanted to mention that there is a challenge going on right now from March 15th to April 15th, so another 16, 17 days, something like that. And the challenge is to do anything with the Spring Bounty collection. And the collection is made up of 6 kits in the Spring Bounty collection: journal pages, coordinating pages, ephemera, fussy cuts. That's where I'm getting my butterflies and my flowers from. I don't see the flowers there, but there's the butterflies. And words and definitions. And this is the newest addition to the Spring Bounty collection, and it's a folio. And the folio comes with everything that you need to make a complete folio. So this is the one that I made. So all the tags are there, every label, every every bit. It's got a complete tutorial, shows you exactly where to score and flip and cut. You can obviously, you know, adapt it to change it a little bit how you want it. But it makes this sweet little folio. So, and this is available in the Junk Journal Studios Etsy store and also my coffee shop, Pouring My Art Out for the Lord coffee shop. They're both linked below. And until the end of March, so that would be tomorrow, both of our shops are on sale for 25%. So if you're interested, this might be a great time to pick that up. So if you wanted to join in the challenge, you just get one of the kits or all of the kits. Again, this is the newest one, the Spring Bounty Folio, or any of the other parts of the Spring Bounty collections, and make a project. And then you enter by sharing a photo in the Facebook group that's called Fans of the Junk Journal Studio. I'll put this poster up at the end so you can kind of take a screenshot if you're interested, or, you know, get the details. Use this hashtag, and every single day one person will be randomly chosen, and they will win free digitals from both my shop and the Junk Journal Studio shop. So, and these aren't just like one page, they're kits. So it's a really good prize, and every single day someone will win. And you can keep playing over and over again. One entry per day, but then you can, the next day you can enter again. And then we'll post the winners on the Junk Journal Studios Facebook fans webpage. And yeah, so if you're interested in that, you can play along. You can make this project. I've made my last video, I made a bunch of different belly bands for inspiration. So I just put them in a little journal here. So all of these belly bands I made with the folio kit. So I just used the folio kit in a little bit different way and just made all of these cute little belly bands. I made 6 different belly bands with this one actually turned into a pocket, and this one that comes out like that. So lots of different inspiration. And this one that slides up and down, and it's got some pockets here as well. And this week I'm planning to do another video, and I think the Junk Journal Studio is as well, on making pockets. And the Junk Journal Studio's YouTube channel also has a really cool belly band, a tri-fold with a bunch of pockets and a really neat closure. So yeah, go check all of those out. I'll link everything below. Anyways, let's get back to the project here. So I'm just going to decide what I want to put in my specimen slide this time. And I think I'll try one of these. So I'll just quickly fussy cut that out. All right, and I'm just gonna do just a tiny bit of inking at the edge of this. I don't know if it makes it look better or worse, but I just have to. So there's my little piece that I'm going to put in my specimen card. And I printed, or I cut these out rather, with my Cricut. So I just designed a little piece of a very simple specimen slide and cut it out. And I'm going to use 2 pieces with the holes cut in the center of them. And then I have a couple of pieces of acetate, and one of them has some words on it. I don't know if they're even real words, but yeah, I guess it is gratitude, heart, memory. So I'm going to use that for the front. I have to be mindful that the words are the right way. And then I have another piece that is just, and it has just disappeared on me. Oh, right here. Another piece that is just plain, because I can't use 2 with words. They'll look funny. So, and then this will be sandwiched in between like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to ink just this part here. The outside edge I can do later, but this part I have to do right now, or before I put it together anyway. Okay, and then I've got, there's many different ways to do this. It's kind of cool on this side too. I'm going to make another one maybe with that on the outside. I have some of this really thin score tape to attach these. You could probably use glue. I don't know what glue would work well with acetate. I don't have, I think maybe art glitter glue would be okay, which I don't have at the moment, or, you know, one of the fabric tack kind of glues or whatever, but I have this little tape, so I'm going to use this. If you're not sure what will work, just do a little experiment. That's always fun. So I'm just going to put just around the inner part of the square. I'm going to put a piece of this very skinny tape. This is 1/8 inch tape. I've had this for a long time. I used to buy it at the scrapbook store, but scrapbook stores are not really a thing anymore. So I'm pretty sure you could get it on Amazon or one of the online scrapbook places. If you don't have any, it is a little pricey, but it lasts quite a while. Okay, so then I'm going to, this will be my top, so I'll probably do it like this. I just want to orient it properly. Okay, so then I'm just going to take these tape backings off here. Okay, and then I'm just gonna, it doesn't really have to be centered, but try to get it on the tape at least. And this is cut just a little bit bigger than the opening. I want it to come out on the sides, obviously, but not, if you have it a little bit bigger, then this was just a leftover piece, so it's a little bit longer than my specimen card, so I'm just gonna trim off the extra. That's not a big deal. Okay, and then I'm going to get my piece and I'm going to attach it to here. And I'm going to, I didn't yet, but I'm going to add a label here. So I'll show you that at the end here. So it's kind of hard to glue onto these things because you kind of see the glue. What I've decided, this is kind of like a fabric fix. I'm just going to make a couple of little dots because you don't really need to glue it super securely because you're going to have acetate on both sides. So I'm just going to put a little bit inside the middle of these flowers because that's probably the place it will show the least. And then I'm going to put it upside down in the center. Try to get this right before you kind of press it down. Right into the center like that. And then just put that aside to dry for a minute. And here's my second piece. This one is clear, so it's a little bit harder to see where it's going. You have to be a little bit careful with this because it's a little bit thin on the sides there. I didn't center that very well. So I got a little bit of overlap here, which I'll just cut off. Can't even see it. I know it was there. Okay. Actually should have inked inside the whole edge there. I didn't do that for some reason. Okay, and then we want to attach these two like this. There's the front. So then I'm going to take my tape again. You could also sew this. I'm not sure how it would sew through the plastic. And I know through the tape it probably would not sew well. So I'm just going to use tape. And there's different ways you can make these specimen cards. You can just cut it out by hand and use, you know, either a craft knife or just, you know, carefully cut out the square yourself. You can use a punch to punch out the square. You can use a die cut to just cut in the center. But this is what I had, so this is what I'm using. And specimen cards or specimen slides are not a new thing. Many people have made them in many different ways. But this is just, I'd wanted to experiment with the different ways of printing translucently, so I thought I would make these. So then I just carefully line them up on the edges and let it go. Just use my brayer to get it. And if you didn't quite get, I have just a smidge here where it was not completely lined up, so I'll just trim that off. And then I'll do another ink around this edge. Yeah, I should have inked around the inside of this. Not sure why I didn't. And you're going to see both sides because this will just be something to tuck into a pocket. So I'll ink both sides. Then I'm going to grab my crocodile, and I'm just going to make these holes a little bit bigger here. The Cricut did cut the holes for me, but I want them a little larger because I'm going to end up putting some eyelets in here. You could also just put some string through it, or you could put some brads through it, or all kinds of different things, but this is what I've decided to do. Just a couple of eyelets. And I'll put them so that the good side is facing to the front of my specimen. And then I just got some pink and white baker's twine here that I thought would look cute. Twine would be nice too, just like a you know, a brown twine, whatever you call that, burlappy twine. So I'm just gonna do a complete knot here. And then tie a little bow. You can also dangle a little charm either from the bow or from the eyelet. That would be cute. Okay, so there are my two slides. Now let me just grab some labels. So I just grabbed a couple of labels from the Pink and Turquoise Pastel Labels from Days Gone By the Junk Journal Studio. I love the labels from the Junk Journal Studio. They're just such beautiful labels. And these ones come in, you know, all colors, all sizes, lots and lots of different configurations. I just decided to stay with the pink theme here. And I store all of these labels in these mint tins that I get from the sugar-free mints from the Dollar Tree. And then I tape from the kit, I tape one of the labels there so that I know exactly what is in there. So this one I think I will glue up here. I don't know if that's going to glue on the acetate or not. Just put glue on the other part for now. Maybe I'll put a drop of glue there and check it out after. And then this one, I thought I would just glue it there. So there are my two simple specimen cards. One is a landscape orientation and one is a portrait orientation. So really simple. There's a couple of little steps, and you know, you have to kind of be a little bit maybe careful to line everything up and cut everything properly. It's got a little bit of glue there. What I could do is I could put another label here on the back so that it's kind of hiding each other. I think that's what I might do. I'll see if I can find another label the same size. So I just kind of continued on. I was having so much fun. I made a few more. So here's the original two pink ones that I showed you. So this one kind of goes landscape. This one goes this way. There's the backs. Then I made two green ones, and I love how those ones turned out. This one I decided not to do a bow. I wrapped the labels around some of them so that they kind of matched up there. And then two more blue ones. And this one I did just as an experiment. I had some, it was either wax paper or parchment paper. I think it's even wax paper that I had embossed. So I put that on the back and acetate on the front. So that one's kind of a different look. And then I had enough space to make one little tiny one. So I had green on one side and blue on the other side, and I put two little dragonflies, and there is that one. So I think they turned out really cute. So now I can stick them into my little pockets in here. Into wherever, probably go into that one better. I actually need a few more pockets in this journal, which is what I'm going to focus on this week. I'm going to make some more pockets for my Spring Bounty journal, so I can put a pink one and a green one in here. I don't have everything completely dry there. So there's a couple there. They could go this way. And what else do I have here? No more pockets, I don't think, but and I could just stick one there like that. So really cute. So there's another project that you could try for the Spring Bounty Challenge. So I'll put the poster up here again, and you can take a look at it, and I hope you join us over on the Facebook group and enter the challenge, and I'll be back in a few days to show you how to make some cool pockets for here. So see you soon.